Good morning, friends. When I am looking for a therapist, because I'm on the quest, and I run into websites like Psychology Today or people's profiles on their clinic website and things like that. There's all kinds of acronyms that I know because I'm a therapist, but a lot of people don't know because they don't even know what that means. And so I'm going to spend a few episodes here and there talking about different modalities of treatment. So first, modality of treatment that is becoming very commonplace, and I'm glad it is something called EMDR. And what EMDR is, it stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. Lots of words. Now, it first became prevalent with military and treating trauma, but it's gotten bigger for a lot of different things now. And it was discovered by a woman named Francine Shapiro. She wrote this great book called Getting Past Your Past. So if you're not sure if EMDR is for you, check out that book, Getting Past Your Past, and it'll help you really look and see if therapy with EMDR is helpful. So what she learned, one day she was running and she was processing some stressors in her life. And she noticed that as she was running, the bilateral stimulation of running actually helped her process those things easier. And so she started doing work and realizing that bilateral stimulation actually replicates our REM sleep. And so basically when we sleep, it's when our brain repairs itself from trauma. So if you have had traumatic events and then you didn't sleep well for days or weeks following, your trauma might have gotten stuck in the flow of consciousness in a way that it's interrupting thought patterns, feeding negative cognitions, and disrupting our interactions with ourselves and others. And so what EMDR does is it uses that REM sleep replication by bilateral stimulation to help nudge free those traumatic memories and then jumpstart our brain to start processing it again. So not all the processing happens in the session. But it happens throughout our time in between sessions through sleep and other things like that. And so there's multiple ways that the therapists access the bilateral stimulation. When I was taught, it was, you'd follow my fingers, and depending on what we were doing, you'd go quickly or you'd go slower, depending on what feels most comfortable for the individual. There are also some therapists who have like a light bar where the light moves back and forth, and you can follow the light. And again, you choose the speed that it's fast enough to break something loose, but not so fast that it's too overwhelming. And then there's a third way where they have like vibrating paddles that you would hold, and they alternate vibrations, and you get to choose the intensity of the vibration as well as the speed of the vibration. And I had a supervisor once that actually said, hey, if you have the paddles, most people will hold it like this, which means we're feeling it at the same time. So doing some separation, he said the most successful way he saw was to put the paddles underneath each leg. And so the therapist will say, you'll have the paddles, you'll be doing that. You'll choose a memory to focus on, and then or a feeling or an experience that has been disruptive in your present life, and then walk you through the process of paying attention to and reprocessing it. Before any of that, though, you establish a calm, safe place. We have to have a safe place to go back to when we dive into traumatic memories. And so being able to go in and out of those traumatic experiences by a professional can be really helpful. Now, I have some people that have tried EMDR and they couldn't let their mind settle. They couldn't let their mind do the processing, or they tried to overthink it and figure out, why is this working, or why is this thing, or what is this about? And they weren't able to have success. So you may not be a person who EMDR is the thing, but it is an option. I know I've had clients where I have seen miracles happen, and I've had clients who couldn't get past the first training session. And so if you try it with your therapist, be honest if you're seeing progress, if it's helping or not. And after you process through the trauma, there's actually a further thing of processing what's called future templates, where you can go in and basically role play and practice how you're going to cope in the future, which actually allows you to feel more confident and equipped in that moving forward. And so if you're looking into therapy and you see the acronym EMDR, or maybe it's an abbreviation, or I stink at remembering the right word for things, but that's what that is. And we'll talk some more about others. And if there's others that you see and you're curious about, I'm happy to teach you a little bit about that too. But we'll keep talking about that moving forward. I hope you all have a good day.